Okay, so in this week's practice, we're going to be doing a body scan, so building on what we were doing last week, but we're going to bring movement into the practice. So we're going to start in a sitting position and finish in a sitting position, or you can remain lying down for the entirety of the practice, listening to where you are at today. So let's set ourselves up in a practice. I'm just going to move something across so that you can see me having tea at a later point. There we go. Okay. I've got my bell. Still getting into the swing. Into the swing of things. Okay. So taking that moment to arrive, having a sense of having taken your seat. So let's begin by bringing our awareness to the breath. Following the flow of your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. Not changing the rhythm in any way. And then widening the breath to include all of the body and checking in with your posture. You're having a sense of pulling your spine into alignment, perhaps by the top of your head, or you can even bring some movement in here and lift the head slightly up, tilting the chin slightly down with that elongated neck at the back. Sort of maybe feeling the weight of your head, what your neck is supporting throughout the day. It's no wonder that we slump and our postures fall out of their natural alignment. And everybody's natural alignment is different. So listening to your bodies. And just checking for any obvious points of tension. The forehead, you can perhaps bring your hands up to the forehead and smooth the brow. Gently pulling the fingers across the forehead. A lot of tension is here, a lot of communication is made to others here about our experiences. This feeds information to our brains, to our bodies, as well as others. I'm just taking this time to smooth the brow, and then bringing your fingers to the eyebrows, and just massaging those muscles here again. Like that, a lot of tension around here. Massaging that small spot between the eyebrows. Just squeezing those eyebrows. Your arms may be aching, so bring them down to the sides. If that's the case. Just resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. And then moving the hands back up to the face, and let's explore the cheeks, the nose, the lips and the jaw. Again, huge amount of tension can be held in the jaw. We can have a tendency to clench our jaws when we're holding ourselves back from saying something, or if we find something frustrating. And then moving the hands to the scalp, invitation to massage here, noticing the sounds that you, the textures, the shapes that you can feel. And moving your hands to your ears, maybe resting your elbows on your chest to take some of the weight, let your body taking some of the weight. Relief, your body can support you. And the intricacies of your ears, are they the same? Are they different? And moving the hands around to the back of the neck. And if any of these movements aren't within your range, you can visualize, picture. This is enough to form neural pathways. Best you can, being with the present moment and your experience, dropping into the body, letting go of the stories and the judgments, and arriving and noticing your experience of yourself. So you move, massage, bringing your hands down to your shoulders. So let's begin with the right shoulder. I had to think there. If you're on the left, stay there. And moving to the other shoulder, bringing the other arm down to your side, giving it a little rest. The fabric of your clothes, the softness of your skin, the tightness of the muscle, maybe it's soft. And then bringing your arms down to your side and just resting for a few moments. The felt sensation of having made those movements. As you breathe here, as you breathe in and you breathe out. And now we're going to bring attention to our right arm. We often explore within the body scan the arms together, so we're going to take a moment to bring our awareness to our right arm. So bringing the left arm slowly and deliberately up to the right shoulder. Begin to massage your way around the top of your arm, You need to lift it a little bit away from your body. What can you notice? The skin. Where does the muscle begin? Get a sense of the bone in there somewhere. The sounds, the textures, the shapes. Does it feel warm or cool? You notice the warmth of your armpit compared to the temperature of the rest of your upper arm. Your body that's performing all these tasks with very little intervention from you. You're taking its time to notice, to drop into the felt sensation of them, accessing the present moment. And moving to the elbow, the texture of the skin or the fabric of the clothes here, that soft crease. There's two bones here that meet. With the upper arm bone. There's no floating patella like with the knee. This joint is held together with ligaments and tendons. What can you notice here? That childlike curiosity. Your body. Then moving your awareness to your lower arm. You can massage, you can stroke, squeeze and pinch. Maybe even run your nails up and down. Exploring your body as it is. Your right lower arm. And then bringing your awareness to your wrist. There's so much going on here. My anatomy and physiology is going to disappear here. Definitely bones, tendons, ligaments and skin. Blood vessels. Neural pathways. There's different textures of skin here. Maybe you can notice sort of clicking bones. Just an invitation to check in with your posture, that you've not moved into an uncomfortable position or slumped. Then moving your awareness to the palm of your hand, the thumb, the fingers, all those lines and creases. To the back of the hand. You're massaging the thumb, feeling the nail beds, the joints, the ligaments, and to the fingers. And then an invitation to rest in stillness for a moment. Resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. Checking in with your posture. That the shoulders haven't crept up to your ears, that your face hasn't screwed up in concentration. Letting go any tension or tightening that you might have found along the way. And then slowly, purposefully bringing your right hand, right arm towards your left arm, top of your shoulder. And beginning to work down the arm. Muscle, skin, the sensation of the bone underneath all those layers. Warmth, coolness, hardness, softness, squidginess. Without judgment, exploring what you notice. Your mind will wander, head into stories, analysing and processing what we're doing, and as best you can, dropping into your felt and direct experience as we learn to listen and pay attention to our bodies, learn their language, to give them some attention that go so often ignored. Let's move down to the elbow, that soft crease, the point of all those bones joining together. If there are parts of the body that we reach that you don't want to explore, knowing that you can bring your awareness to your breath. You can rest in stillness or find somewhere neutral within the body that you do want to explore. But my instructions are an invitation there. You can say no. No right or wrong way of doing these practices. And then moving your awareness down to the lower arm. Let's move the arm and notice the twist that the two bones make to rotate. It's extraordinary, this skeleton. These muscles and ligaments and tendons and organs all working away, housing our stories and our experiences. And moving to the wrist. The bone, the ligaments and tendons, the different textures of the skin. Checking in with that posture. And moving your awareness to the palm of your hand. Massaging, squeezing, scratching, stroking. Bringing kindly attention to yourself. What have these hands done for you today? Unsentimental, just getting on with it. And then moving that awareness to the back of the hand, skin, joints, And then resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. Now we're going to move to a standing position. This is within your range today. Just slowly bringing yourself up to a standing position or remaining sitting. You work through the remainder of the body with some stretches. And just slowly and carefully once you're in that standing position, we're going to bring our awareness to our spine. We're going to slowly curl down, beginning with the head and then working vertebrae by vertebrae within our range, bringing the head down and stretching that spine. Being very careful a gentle bend in the knees. What sensations can you notice? What happens to the weight of your body? Is it in your heels? Is it in your toes? That's noticing sensations at the back of the thighs, your calves, and then slowly moving back up, again vertebrae by vertebrae. And then an invitation to place your hands on your hips, and we're going to do some gentle twists. And starting with the left, slowly twisting around, keeping your feet firmly planted in the ground with your knees gently bent. Looking over the left shoulder. Are you pushing yourself too much? Could you push yourself a little bit more? Observing your habits and tendencies as you approach these movements. Are you too cautious, hesitant? Or are you a little bit reckless with your body? You want to push it that little bit further and too far? And then moving back to the centre. Taking a few breaths, resting in the felt sensation of having made these movements. And then twisting to the other side, so looking around over the right shoulder. And then coming back to a central position. And then bringing the hands down to your side, bringing the right arm slowly up, all the way above your head. And reaching up as high as you can. And then bending at the elbow, bringing that right hand down between the shoulder blades. You can bring the left arm up to the shoulder, to the right elbow, and support this stretch if that feels right for you. And then bringing both arms up towards the sky, and then bringing them back down slowly to the sides. Just resting for a few moments in the sensations of these movements. Tingling, that's lightheadedness. What exactly are these sensations? Where are they? What are they? Textures, shapes, colours and movements. And then an invitation to bring this left arm up slowly, away from the side of the body, all the way up towards the sky. And then bending at the elbow and slowly bringing that arm down between the shoulder blades. And then bringing that right elbow, that right arm up to that left elbow if that feels right for you. And then bringing the arm back down by the side. Resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. Now you may need to be next to a chair for this, or a wall. Bringing your weight to your left foot and slowly lifting up the right leg, bringing the foot into your hand. To a stretch, stretching that thigh. And bringing the foot back down slowly. Just Resting for a few moments, shifting your weight between your right foot and your left foot, observing how your body knows how to support you. Coming into stillness and then repeating the stretch on the other side. So bringing the left foot slowly off the ground. Supporting yourself in whatever way you need. And then pulling that left foot towards the thigh. Noticing the stretch along the front. Perhaps observing your right leg and checking that your knee isn't locked. Taking care of yourself. And then bringing the foot back down to your side if you haven't already. And just resting in stillness for a few moments. Now let's move to the ankle joint. So with the right foot in our mind's eye to begin with. So lifting the right foot off the floor but keeping the toes on the floor, and then turning that ankle in a circle towards you, so anti-clockwise to begin with. Observing how your body keeps you balanced, maybe holding onto a chair or the wall if you need some extra support. Not a competition, not going to be marked, judged, but noticing if that is a tendency of yours. And then circling it in the other direction. The sounds and textures and shapes of these movements. And then bringing that foot back down and just resting for a few moments. Perhaps you noticed an aching in your left calf. And now let's move our attention to our left ankle, our left foot. So just lifting the foot off the floor but keeping the toes firmly planted in the ground. And just moving that ankle within your range today. Noticing how the toes take a various amount of pressure as the ankle turns, sort of little toe to the big toe. And then turning in the other direction. Which again. Again, noticing the pressure on the toes, or noticing in this joint clicks and crunching, sounds, textures, shapes, movements, temperatures. And then coming into stillness. And now an invitation to move into some movements that you feel like your body needs that perhaps didn't guide through. Are there any movements that your body wishes to make? Maybe the neck, the arms. And just taking a few moments to move and stretch your body in whatever way it was calling for that wasn't guided within the practice. And then in your own time, moving yourself to a sitting position. Maybe squeezing in a few more movements. That's it. Bringing your awareness to your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. Resting in the felt sensation of having made those movements. Checking in with your posture, honouring your body, this vessel that carries you around, houses your experiences, holds the story of your life. This body that goes so ignored. Honouring yourself and the time that you've taken to be here, to pay attention, dropping into the present moment, without the need to fix or change anything. Simply being with yourself as you are, whole, complete. Just resting in stillness for a few more moments. Close the practice with a poem. The Invitation by Orion Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the centre of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own. If you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself, if you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul, if you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the centre of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moment. So we're going to move into taking a cup of tea together. And this is an invitation to weave in this mindful awareness into an activity, an ordinary and simple activity. This invitation that we can bring this mindful attention into absolutely anything that we're doing. It doesn't need to be a formal practice. We're taking tea, and if you don't have tea, I have an extra cup for you. And I'm drinking verveine and olive today, olive leaf. Sounds and textures. So I'm going to move into a space to share about the practice. For those of you practicing in your own time, an invitation to journal about your direct experience of the practice, if anything came up for you that you'd like to explore or share, please do reach out. But for the time being, pause the recording and take some time to reflect on your experience of the practice.